Anybody here ever tried a muffaletta? Yeah, it originated down in New Orleans. It's a lot of Italian immigrants that come in, and it's a wonderful deli sandwich. And in a mini form like this, it's great to pack up and take with you, but also to serve as just little finger foods if you're having a gathering and stuff there for a game or something. So what we're going to start off with, the recipe calls for pickled vegetables and Spanish olives. Well, it just so happens that we now have it's an Italian olive salad, which is both of those put in the one jar now. So I went ahead and used this for tonight for a recipe. But if you prefer, they have small pickled vegetables that comes in about half that size, and you can get just a regular jar of Spanish olives like so. You want to get the ones with the pimentos in there. Just make sure if you're using the two, drain this one and use the mixed vegetable or the vegetables, the oil in it when you puree this. Now there's also another thing if you want to do it. If you have some cauliflower, a little bit of carrots and olives and celery, you can take those ingredients and put them in olive oil. Let them sit overnight with a little bit of oregano and garlic, and that's making the same thing. If you want to make it homemade, make it really nice fresh alternative to it. Okay, so we're going to take this, and with this jar, you're actually going to put the whole jar into a blender. Okay. Now you're going to want to pulse it. It calls for 8 to 10 pulses. You want to chop it up. You don't want to puree it smooth. You still want it, pretty coarse when you're putting it on the sandwich. So it is going to be lightly chunky when you do this. And depending on what type of blender you have, you may have to kind of scrape the sides down a little bit. Okay. Like I said, it's just enough to get it, cut up and mixed really well with one another. Yeah, that'll work. So what you're going to do then, now I'm using Hawaiian Sweet Rolls. Traditionally, it's actually a round sesame roll that this sandwich would get. But this, the Americanized version, or the Tennessee and Virginia version, because more people, when they have it up here, they've requested this. And so I finally tried it, and I see why, because I absolutely love it with this bread. Especially with, you got a light tanginess with the Italian salad, mixed in with the sweetness of the bread. It complements one another really well. Okay. But if you want to, you can also try different breads. If you have some homemade yeast rolls, you can use those. You can even use just regular bread, cut them up into little squares. Okay. I'm going to grab this. And you want to put a nice thick coat down there. Approximately, 1 tablespoon there, which about like so. Okay. I'm going to take some Swiss, and the type of cheese that I'm using here is the Bistro Deli Swiss cheese. I like it. It's got a really good flavor to it. I'll layer that on there. and deli ham, which most people, when they say deli ham, what they're talking about is, you know, something like Lay's boiled ham. Let's throw that on there. And then I've got some Genoa salami. I'll go ahead and cut it up in quarters there. It fits better onto the sandwich. I'm going to take you some provolone cheese. All right. I'll go ahead and quarter that too. And you got a really good, you know, small sandwich, easy to carry around. When you try these, it's got a really good flavor to it. You know, some people might not like the olives, and so that is something, you know, obviously you can make, you know, just a standard Italian, you know, sandwiches out with this, but try it with the olives. If nothing else, leave the olives out of the recipe altogether and just use the vegetables, which is called a giardiniera, and it's, when you chop that up really fine and add it to it, you can actually add just a little bit of mayonnaise and mustard to it also, and makes a really nice sandwich that way too. Okay.
It says to roll the tops.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to do that, because what it is, that's just laying out the stuff there on the bottom, yeah. And let's see, and these I've already pre-cut too. Well, now you can change the other meats with these, because some people, they don't like the Genoa on there, or any salami. You know, I've had these with pepperoni on it even. Or you can actually use ham and turkey with it too. But if you use the turkey, don't get one of the flavored turkeys, like a honey turkey or something along that line, because it really doesn't go well with the olive mix. And then you can sit there and take these with some toothpicks if you really want to get fancy. Just grab you 4 toothpicks and slightly mash it down there. Stick it in each corner. And it makes nice little hors d'oeuvres, as you see on the tray over here. Just push that toothpick all the way through. And there you have it. And it's an easy way to set out the whole tray there for the family or friends. Or you can leave the sandwiches whole, as we made it before. Okay.